It's 7:30 a.m. and Good Day continues live and local on Fox 4.
It's just about tax time, less than a month away. Many of us might be handing money to the IRS, but this nice lady has some help for you.
'Cause I'm the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man.
Well, tax day less than 1 month away. Cathy DeWitt Dunn has tips to save you time and aggravation, maybe even money. Who knows? Most of us could use the easy form. Let's be probably 95% of people could use an easy form.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, nowadays everything is so electronic.
Yeah, the shocking thing is how much time people spend on something that, frankly, ought to be pretty simple.
You know what? On average, it takes someone 13 hours to prepare their taxes. It's just amazing.
Is a lot of that because they don't do the work during the year, keeping things organized during the year, and they're running around the house in drawers and going into the junk drawer trying to find all the documentation they need?
That's a lot of it. Plus, the other thing is, too, is that you have to be really careful because people don't want to trigger an audit or later pay penalties. So I think people are double-checking after they've done their homework.
Yeah. Would you recommend for most people, some people who have a little more complex returns obviously need the help of an accountant, but for most people, is it perfectly okay to use the online services or buy the tax prep software?
You know what, if you just really follow the basics and walk through the software programs, I think for most people they can do that, but they need to double check everything as they're going through it.
Yeah, making math errors is one of the biggest mistakes people make.
Oh yeah, and then later down the road that causes penalties and perhaps an audit later. You don't want to have that.
Only if you make the mistake the wrong way. There's some common deductions that people may overlook. What are those that you should think about?
You know what, one of the things with the fiscal cliff, just in January, a couple of new laws were passed. One which, thank goodness, we're in Texas because we don't have state income tax, but we have sales tax. You can now deduct that. I have a link on my website at annuitywatchusa.com that'll help you and walk you through those different options. But also, people don't realize that they can also deduct child care expenses up to, if they're paying for child care for a child under 13. You can deduct up to $2,100, including summer camps.
Right. And now what about elder care as well, if you're taking care of an older parent?
Absolutely. There's a lot of good deductions that are available, and I have those links on my website as well at Annuity Watch USA.
If you did not keep track of all of the things last year, one of the things you suggested was for charity work, for example, mileage. If you are driving to and from doing volunteer work somewhere, you could write off mileage, you could write off parking, tolls, anything like that, but you have to keep track of it.
You have to keep track of it and a log, but you can deduct up to 14 cents per mile on all your tolls.
Now, and that doesn't count just showing up for church, right?
No, it doesn't.
Right.
You actually have to go to the charity and perform the work.
Okay. Now, budget cuts have meant a lot of federal agencies have seen some kind of cutbacks. Does that mean that there are going to be fewer audits?
I hope so, but you know what, only 1 in 90 people were audited actually, so that's really a low statistic. If you do your homework and you do your tax returns and they're accurate, you can avoid that. But you know what, you always have to double check your math in the end. Okay,
we've got a link to your
my
tips
website,
and the links in your website on myfoxdfw.com.